nothing but against the party.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, how you doing? And I wanted to thank you again personally for doing this interview.
All good.
Would you like to give a little summary of what it is for the 3 Tupac fans in the world who don't know what this movie is?
Absolutely. So, as you may or may not know, I had a production company with Tupac and was blessed with, directing some of his music videos on Death Row, producing most of them on Death Row. And a week before he passed, we were in the midst of negotiating a 3-picture movie deal. So, I was in hog heaven. I'm an Iranian American coming from Orange County, selling real estate, jumped into hip hop, and then the next thing you know, I'm a partner with Tupac, and we're about to make 2 or 3 movies. So for me, it was like cloud 9.
Would you care to speak on what maybe the concepts of some of those movies, or do we have to wait for the doc?
Yeah, I would wait for not only for the doc. The films are projects that I think they're so unique. I don't want to give away any of Pac's secrets as far as the films are concerned. I would rather wait until they come to fruition. But let it be known that they were just all intelligent urban films. I think he was sick of the black exploitation films, and he wanted to do something a little more substantial, a little more along the lines of the type of films that like Scorsese or Robert Altman or some of these other directors have done. He felt that the African American population had been underserved with mindless and numb type films, and I think that trend still continues till today. You've only got a few Spike Lees. You've got a lot of Medina movies, but you don't have too many of Spike Lee films out there right now. So he kind of, as always, had his finger on the pulse of what really needed to happen as opposed to what was going on. And then, Vegas happened, and we went to Vegas, and I ended up sitting watch or security, as it would, from 12 to 8 in the morning for 6 nights at the hospital when he got shot. And essentially, the idea is to make a documentary, and I've also got a script called 7 Days. I want to make a film out of it, but we're going to start with the documentary, and it's about all the mayhem that took place during those nights of sitting security and the days, the lack of police cooperation, the undercover FBI agent, the death threats. I liken it to Michael Corleone when he goes in The Godfather, and he goes to the hospital and there's no one sitting security for the dawn, so he pulls Enzo the baker. I kind of felt like I was Enzo the baker. I mean, it was the scariest shit I'd ever been through, but for whatever reason, I was placed in that position, and I just feel I need to share the story, not only of those 7 days, of all that transpired, with the few times that he almost lost his life, the few times the nurse gave him 500 cc's of adrenaline and pulled him back from the brink of dying, to, a summary of some of the stuff that was going on the last months of his life. I was in his life for the last 8 months. The last few months were very energized and full of turmoil, and I think it's important for the fans to know. Most fans know, I guess I would say, that he was alive for 7 days, but most people who just listen to his music have no idea that he was in an induced coma, because each time he came to, he would pull his plugs out and want to try to get out of bed. I think there are a lot of people that were at the hospital, whether it was employees or friends and family members, and not even them. I think a lot of the contemporaries, the people that filled his shoes since his passing, have a lot to talk about, have a lot to say, about his influence. And I think, there's an opportunity to fill in the gaps that have been left by all of these documentaries that have been done. I think my favorites are Resurrection, and I think Thug Angel was a good doc, but everything else to me just seems like people are making money off of him, and I guess God bless him. Long live enterprise and democracy in America. But I think this is one story I've kind of been sitting on for the last 16 years, and it's just time to tell the story.
This project is 16 years in the making. What was the point that made you say now it's time?
I'm married. I got a kid now, and before I was just a filmmaker taking care of myself. Now I got to take care of a family, so I can't hold on to my excuses that I did before as an individual. I have to be a little bit more prudent and a little more aggressive, a little bit more of a risk taker. And to be honest with you, also, as an artist, I always felt maybe, I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable moving forward with a project without getting some sort of a blessing, whether it was from the estate or someone else. But now it's almost like, the postings that I get right now on YouTube and on the Kickstarter and the 7days, themovie.com, everyone is like so supportive. And I figure as long as I move forward with integrity and do something that's meaningful, I think the universe will conspire with me, and it'll be a good project, And there's enough footage that shows candid views of him that the fans deserve to see, because there was so much more to him. There was so much more to what he wanted to do, so much more that he planned on doing. And if anything, I want to share that inspiration with people out there, because disenfranchised always identify with him. But he also is the rose that grew from concrete. So I think he's maybe give people a boost.
Are you planning a theatrical release the 7 Days?
We would absolutely love that. I'm trying to raise enough money to go into production on Kickstarter, and obviously I can't do it without the fans' help. I've offered some really interesting and unique projects as a bonus for people to get involved. But ideally, yeah, I want to go theatrical with it. He's got fans everywhere, and I just think the fans deserve to see it.
Do you have approximate running time?
Well, it'll be a 90-minute feature. Anywhere between 80 and 90 minutes.
What was the original plan with all this footage if Tupac did not pass away?
I had suggested we start a production company with him and Tracy, who was my partner at the time, because we were doing all these death row videos, and we're like, why not start a production company and we'll go partners on it. So we did that. We started 24/7 Productions, and then one day I suggested, can I start filming you? Let's do a living documentary on you. And he was like, go for it. So essentially, we started with the making of the One Nation album. I filmed a lot of that, a lot at the house, at the studio, wherever he would allow me. And he had actually gone to a show in Milan. He had done a runway show for Gianni Versace with his fiance, and I asked if I could go film that, and he was like, no, that's my personal time, so you can film everything else. So, but essentially, it was a living documentary that I'd suggested, and he went for.
Is there going to be footage that we would have never guessed, or that is going to shock us?
There's interview footage, some of which I put at the end of the trailer that's never been seen before or heard before. And I think there's footage and audio of him talking and what he wants to do in the future. And I think that's what's really unique.
Do you have footage of him performing?
It wouldn't be any different than the House of Blues DVD that I think they put out. My camera would be from a different angle. I would have to check into rights to see if I could use any of that footage.
The footage that you won't or don't use in this film, do you plan on releasing that, or is that part of the bonuses in the Kickstarter thing?
Some of the prizes in the Kickstarter project, based on level of involvement, is doing some private screenings of all the footage and the audio. Because as you know, I can't release any audio of the One Nation album without the state's approval, but I can obviously show it. So the private screenings that we would set up in people's homes to go through all the footage and the audio that I've got. So essentially we would go through that I have.
How is your current relationship with the estate?
My relationship with the estate's good. It's good. Hopefully this will be something that I can either involve them in. I will make sure that the foundation is a benefactor on it, because I would obviously love to get as many family members that would be willing to be involved in this. I just think it builds authenticity.
Will this documentary include HD transfers of these music videos?
I'd have to research the music videos to use them, because music videos normally are owned by the label, and monetize music videos or exploit them in any other medium other than the medium they're created in. That's why video DVDs are very rare. Everyone needs to get paid again for being exploited in that fashion.
Is that one of the reasons that we've not seen a Tupac video compilation?
I actually made one of all the videos that I had and presented to the estate, but I'm assuming that's why it never came out, for the exact same reason. I mean, I think it would be a huge seller, especially, you know, with a lot of the outtakes from different videos, and a compilation of Pac videos. I think that would sell like hotcakes, but, you know.
Is it possible to do an HD transfer? Was it filmed in 35 millimeters?
The copies that I have, those are all HD. They're already all HD, so, you know, that's not an issue. We shot on Super 35, and the transfer was done to HD.
The last interview we heard from you was from December. Do you have any more updates on possible music that you can use?
No, I don't have. You know, it's a little premature. It's a little cart for the horse at this point. I think I got to first get the film funded and shot, and then at that point we can approach music. But there's so many different options. We have a lot of artists that have approached us that would like to do covers from different genres, actually, not just rappers. So you know, I'm excited about what the soundtrack on this could be, because, you know, whether it includes pop music or not, it's going to be something special. So, you know, I'm excited about the music.